Hello and welcome to part 2 of my interview with Andrew Groves of Arcane Roots. We talk of the band's future as he predicted it would unfold when we sat down for this chat back in April. Becoming a prolific artist, new fans, writing film scores and embracing the spectrum of emotions that comes with creative work.
I was going to ask you, because obviously we said earlier the album got such great reviews, the response was incredible, good chart positions, everything you could ever want from an album that is what you wanted to make.
Hopefully.
But were you surprised at how you felt? Like, did you feel that huge euphoria, or did you find yourself starting to stress about new things you hadn't stressed about before? Were you worried about the next record?
It was weird. We've kind of, fun enough, maybe a recent thing, I suppose, maybe for us is kind of felt like since I was, 14, starting to play guitar, all these people I looked up to were like real kind of unsociable, hard to deal with, very pedantic, very anally retentive, but prolific artists. And I spent, every minute of every day looking and idolising them and learning their work and wanting to be that guy who had no time and, but he's already made 5 albums this year or whatever, do you know what I mean? And, sacrificed his life for his work and what have you. And a big drive has been just like, well, I'm sitting down. I need to. It's 5:30. I need to do something. I'm not. Or like, oh, I've had, I don't know what I'm doing. I've gone to the Sainsbury's. Like, and I'm like, no, I'm not on task. But then the last couple of years, we were kind of like, I don't think I've had a day off yet. And we were like, yeah. And then we were like, oh. Well, like, does that mean we're kind of doing the thing that we and we're like we didn't really realise we were just doing it because it's kind of like a hobby job. So like, do your job, go home, do your hobby. Like,
lines blur all the time.
And I just, that's what I want to do anyway when I get time off my job. so it was kind of this nice thing, and with the record we just kind of doubled down and kind of all the issues. We're trying to get this thing, so credible for us and to a point where we felt it was not contrived or we were, Arcane Roots find a synthesizer in their nan's attic or something. I want it to feel purposeful, and then people who were into that kind of music be like, this doesn't feel credible. This doesn't feel ungenuine. Disingenuous. And so we just sort of didn't really stop. And then the album came out and it kind of just passed us by. As in, we were just doing stuff.
Just too busy to take it in the moment of what was happening.
Yeah, and I think we were maybe we were touring. I don't remember. But I think that's good. I feel like I'm kind of pleased for that. Right. I try to be that guy who doesn't read too many things. I really try. I think everyone tries to be that guy.
What do you think would happen if you did force yourself to sit down, read all the tweets, read all the comments, read all the reviews?
I've yet to see. I've seen a couple who are like, oh, Sims. But majority wise, they are very positive. Been very positive, and obviously, we were kind of endeavouring to kind of make something that. Not the anti-album, but we were just like, well, we're just going to do what we're going to do. And if we're wrong, we're wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a strange place to be in. We were so surprised. We would joke about it often, the reaction to curtains coming out and what have you. And, whether or we just say, is this suicide? And I was just like, it's fine. Let's just keep going, go further down the rabbit hole. If you feel like it's weird, you're not going weird enough. Like, keep going. So, it was kind of shame we haven't really stopped yet, even really.
So you don't even have time to really worry about, are we going to better it next time, or how are we going to grow on this?
I've always said, if we didn't, the day we finish the record and hand everything over, if there isn't a point, if we don't go, I've already got a great idea for the next thing, then that's the day it's over. And so, luckily, we're that arrogant with our own work, which I think that's all right, isn't it? You just like, well, it's my work. So, so that's, if anything, we're already a few tracks into the next, and we've already put out, well, we've just finished another kind of 4 or 5 tracks to come out. And we're already on now the next record, and kind of definitely a very clear idea about where to go with that. And so if anything, it's been encouraging. It's kind of been, I mean, maybe we go too far now, who knows, but it was so nice to have done that, something that we really thought would be such a challenge for people. And kind of there was so much less guitar and blah, 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 and we really expected there to be, more of a negative look on it. But we, reason it took so long and we worked it was we wanted it to be, convincing and still, still purposeful and still be, I would hope, that people are like, I still like it. This isn't what I normally would listen to. But
it still had an epic, huge sound. So those people that loved you for that massive epicness.
And I feel like certainly Jack and Adam kind of great balancers for our kind of working dynamic. They keep me interested in playing rock music, just because I really love playing with them. I love smiling at them on stage. That's nice. It's really nice. It's absolutely. And again, the day we would hang up our alleged coats, that magic's there, and that keeps me interested. And we've got a nice package coming tomorrow, which is going to help us with this new record as well. So we've already got big ideas, and today is kind of a test of a few things that we're trying to do to kind of sew the lines between kind of Arcane roots, of guitar, bass, drums, rock world, and kind of synths and left field and orchestras and pianos and jazz and stuff, and kind of really make it this organic melting pot. And again, just 3 sort of stupid boys with wouldn't it be cool if, and that's kind of, that's all we've got. And I feel like
it's working so far, isn't it?
I hope. Luckily, just about. It's great. It's. Maybe I haven't expressed such gratitude. It does mean so much to in the world we live in today to have done, something utmost creative and trying to push the boundaries and and it actually do something well and not be kind of stamped out.
Gives you hope, doesn't it?
I hope so. Like I say, it could be a bad thing. Maybe we get way ahead of ourselves. But like I say, it's kind of, if anything, it is when we put curtains out a little bit before the record, and we were all really sort of listening in to the radio to be like, oh, and it was the longest running joke was that we knew when we'd finished curtains. I reckon that will be the single they go with. And so we just had, Radio 1, whatever, Daniel P. Carter or whoever, and then just new song, Arcane Roots or whatever, and then just, and it just be what? People getting, listening in late and just hearing this thing and be like, what? And so that was just such a thing in our minds for so long. And so when everyone was so positive about it, we were we still had 9 songs to go, so we were just right, delete everything. We're going further.
Going hard in on that.
Yeah. We haven't gone far enough. They like this. Let's really push. Yeah. Let's really challenge and really push them. So like I say, we got an addendum to the record coming out, which is kind of been fun. And we had this idea and we wanted to show more sort of facets of the record. And everyone was just on board with us doing it, and so we were cool. So it was really nice to we worked on it and put it out very quickly, again to kind of dispel this Arcane Roots take 50 years to make a record. I'm really keen to
prolific.
Yeah, that's the next. The big P is certainly what I'm. The big P.
That's the headline.
That's it. That's all I'm interested in these days. I'm not. Don't think big P and think money. No, prolific. That's it. And put records out a lot faster and kind of and really move a little quicker in our ways. So it's been nice. We've done this really nice and quick thing, which we're playing in full today. And then we're already kind of starting demoing new album stuff. So I'm excited to go. Yeah, I'm excited to kind of show. We got a new angle coming in, Ooh. So we're excited to show our hand. Yeah, that's what I get excited about. I'm pretty sure there's like a meme, isn't it, where like the lady and the man are sleeping next to each other, and she thinks he's thinking about women or something. Like my wife, she knows what I'm thinking about, and she's like, "You're thinking about that riff again, aren't you?" Like that's kind of my. Or if I have an idea, like I've got a pretty good idea for the first track. Yeah. And I'm excited to it's like having a really good magic trick, maybe. I don't know, like I can't wait to do that. They're going to be so surprised, So it's nice. It's certainly nice to kind of to push forward with something like that. And like I say, we are very grateful that everyone is going with it. And like I say, it's been nice to see kind of new fans coming in, and we've been trying to kind of. It was very much a white flag to kind of people to be like, cool, we like lots of things. Like we're not, kind of rock band. Like, do you know what I mean?
Experimental way.
Yeah, and just and obviously with the videos and the artwork and everything along with that, to kind of really advertise that, to get involved with stuff like today, and maybe, like I say, work with more people on videos and directing stuff, and kind of certainly kind of hopefully what we can be capable of in a more cinematic way, and look at doing film works. And
I'm obsessed with film scores, so if you do that, we need to chat again.
It was a huge inspiration. Olafur Arnalds and Johan Johansson, all these people, and kind of huge on it was a really big kind of third piece of the pie, really, for us. And certainly that's something we'd like to really pursue and kind of and try and I feel like the good things about the time that we live in is that like technology is like at your fingertips, and the idea of bringing together art and music and video and live sound and lights and exhibitions and installations and all this stuff. I feel like that the lines between that are kind of no longer so defined, and so we're really super keen as well to get involved with more projects and really kind of we really want the album to kind of maybe be something we could perform in different lights and different places, and wouldn't it be nice to make an interactive installation that like the lights from the album, like when you could we've looked into it. There's ways you can make it for in real life, and like what if you could make an installation and you can interact with it, and technology now is at such a place where that's fun for us to think. Even with a light show, so many ideas now come hand in hand with that. So I can imagine what that looks like.
More things to get obsessed with, more things to keep you up at night.
It's got us. It's not healthy. Just thinking about bulbs. But yeah, that's. I think that's, and again, that's. I feel like that's all I can offer. Really, we're going to keep doing that, and when everyone's like, look, no, it's rubbish, just stop now. Then that's when
give it up.
Fine, we're out. We'll become electricians or something. I don't know.
When you're in that full-on obsessive thinking about it all the time mode, what are you like to be around? Do you go like quiet because all the thoughts are whirring around your head? Are you like a excitable child wanting to tell them everything you thought about? What kind of personality are you?
Both. Yeah. I'm excited about what I'm excited about. Like, it is it's fun. It like I say, it's a fun way to create something. To be like, there's so many formats, and kind of through a little bit of need and a little bit of kind of want, not so much want, but a lot of the time we get dragged into having to learn to do something. So I'm a fairly spectral person, I would say. Maybe more of a spectrum person, I'm not sure. But I ride the nature's roller coaster of emotions, and like I say, I feel like that's fun. That's kind of how I've maybe squared that away in my own psyche, but to embrace it.
Yeah.
And be, again, it's their own problems to solve. There's plenty of many daily where there's deadlines and we need to have stuff done, and we have these big ideas, and often it's about, like I say, bringing reality into the equation, and you have this big idea and it's not quite going to work out how you wanted it to be, and so you're going to need to cut some corners and make it something realistic. That's kind of the Arcane Roots way. It's kind of shoot for the moon, but kind of just hit the tip of space, maybe.
Get lost in space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that sounds. That's kind of our. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll hit a satellite somewhere. So, I think the excitement is part of what gets you through, and kind of having that firm idea, and you can lose your way, and I can get pretty ratty about just
So you care.
Yeah. I maybe it would be more a question for the people around me. I don't know. I try my best to shelve the burden on myself. But yeah, it's difficult. There's always the idea that we want to see come to life, and what's achievable, whether that's money or time, or most of the time it's kind of anger that why isn't everyone going invest in this? Duncan, I will be investing. Why? Just help us. It's a good idea. Let's do it. Why is the world smiting me today on this thing? And yeah, certainly doing everything in house. Again, my wife Sophia, kind of balance each other out as far as she's ultra realist and I'm ultra optimist. So doing artworks and videos, and we always have these kind of grand ideas, and that challenge is for us, remembering that often the challenge is part of it. It refines the idea and it makes it better, and sometimes that constriction makes it a better outcome at the end of it, and trying to embrace something that's we had 2 days, no, you've got 1 day, and we're like, okay, right, what can we do? We need to think our way out of this problem. And I feel like maybe that is maybe the one thing we're good at. It is just being like, this is the point B. Yeah. Where's A? We need to get there.
Just make it work.
Yeah. But yeah, it's usually it's just finding the time to do everything, and especially with there's a very kind of strong feeling of other bands don't do this, so why are you doing it, and you don't need to do that, and often you've got to kind of push that back a little bit, or people don't want you to do it, and you're so you need to kind of fight that.
You don't want to be like every other band.
Yeah, and you need to fight that, that a little bit, and kind of, I think as well, we've been lucky, we've got a great team, and when I sell them an excited idea over the phone, that they kind of, as oblique as it sounds, they're like, I'm confident you'll make it good in the end. I'm not really sure what you're just talking sort of gibberish, and you've started about 100 sentences that you haven't finished, and some crappy analogies in there as well. But I think I know. Luckily, we've delivered enough things to be like, look, this is worth.
Let's trust then.
Yeah, this is worth investing in, and this is worth following this idea, and this is why we're running late.
Again.
Yeah, again for the 5th time. Yesterday. So, we and again for everyone around us, actually, we've got a great team, and like I say, it's been this experience together of all learning how each other's works. And again, you know, we know what they require from us, and kind of it's about us trying to serve that, but also kind of make something creatively stimulating, you know, along the way.
No, I think you've got to go soon, so I'm just going to end on a question that I ask a lot of people.
Sure.
So what would you tell your teenage self about coping with stress, pressure, impressing everyone, you know, being the person you want to be? What would you tell that person?
It's kind of hard, isn't it? Like when you're young, we were talking about this the other day, that like, I was like, I can't remember, we were watching something and I was like, isn't it funny that like, guaranteed, the people who probably have a fairly tough time at school, probably geniuses now. Like probably, like being a nerd, being a geek, not being cool, like, I feel like all those things, and plus like, you know, I think we're all learning together the spectrum of human emotion, and that it's okay to fail, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be depressed, it's okay to have, you know, moments of doubt, and worse. I don't think that's off the spectrum. I think, you know, everybody has moments where, you know, I think you're a liar if you haven't had a moment where you're just like, I'm out. I don't know. Yeah. This is too much. You know, we've all been there. You know, being in a band, a lot of that, because it is just such a subjective beast, and what like the whole one man's trash is another man's treasure type thing. But at the same time, you know, there's a million times where we're like, they're the ones everyone is going, wow. Yeah, wow. Yeah. Wow. You chose those guys. Really? Well done, public. Yeah. You know, we're screwed. Like, and you know, it's, I think, it, like, being yourself and being this, not filtering anything, and kind of, you know, trying to see what's not being seen, or try and think your way out of something, and not have to, you know, the work. I couldn't imagine anything worse than having to worry about, you know, other people or what people think of my ideas or what have you. I think, you know, that's what's interesting, and especially when you're young, I think it's a really hard time, especially if you're kind of a little bit, you know, left. Yeah. Then I feel like there's so much negative pressure on that, and whereas really you're so cool, you don't even realise, you know, and
you just wait.
Yeah, oh my God, exactly. You'll rule the world, I promise you. And I feel like, you know, that kind of sense of unrestricted freedom of thought, you know, I feel like, you know, you can be anything. You really can these days. You could always be, but, you know, I really feel like you can, and it is just hard work. It is just so much hard work. If you think you're ready, you're not. We never are. Even now, I guarantee, if I say, oh, I feel like we're getting to a really good, we're not. It's
all just blagging it and winging it all the time.
Oh yeah, exactly. And the biggest thing ever that hit me really hard is I was like, cool, you know, I'm a kid, I'm going to finish school, I'm going to study, I'm going to be so good at music, and then I'm going to be in a band, I'm just going to write the best music I can, and try my best. But I'll probably, like, it's going to be so hard because everyone else is going to be so much better than I am, and they're going to be studying all the time, and all they care about is music. And when I get a record label, all they're going to be is like, I need 150 songs on my desk tonight. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was the thing, you know. And then to get there and be like, what? Like, where's, don't you want, I've done all these songs for you. Yeah. Like, you know, like, or like, I've been doing all this here, I've been working so hard, and it just wasn't. And then there were so many other facets of the business that I was like, oh, it's horrible. Like, I hate this. This is, why is everyone not trying to be the best? Why? Yeah. Like, and like, we're doing worse now. We're trying to do better. Like, and everyone else who's not, they're doing really well. And we're like, what? And to really realise and go up and be like, nobody knows. No one knows what they're doing. Everyone is just flailing around. Yeah. Like, you know, you're like, oh, cool, well, it's fine because like my parents, they know about the world. And like, I mean, on every level as well, like on life and love and religion and sex and life, all this stuff. Yeah. And you think they know, don't worry.
They're sorted, yeah.
And then you definitely come to a stage where you're just like, oh, you're just a boy and a girl who had a kid. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you're just person A, person B. Like, you're just making this up as you go along. Yeah. And so, I think we're getting there slowly. It seems, with the, God bless social media. But it seems like as far as like a world forum for throwing ideas around and deciding something and saying this is clearly wrong, this is clearly right. I really feel like hopefully we are getting there with that. It's all these different facets of being a human and just embracing that and it's hard. That's the thing as well. It is real hard. There's no. It's like, I feel like sometimes we have a little kind of, I've got a headache, I take paracetamol, it's gone. Like, I feel like it's like, it doesn't work that way. Like, it's like, I've got many flaws, but it's the hardest thing to actually be like, well, I'm going to fix this flaw with perseverance, and I'm going to fail loads, and I'm going to hate myself loads, and I'm going to slip up loads, and it's like anything. It doesn't. All of it's hard work. Luckily, there's all the great bits that come along with that as well. But I feel like hopefully we'll get in there. But I feel like that's where the good things happen. Is when you see so many artists where you're just like, I just wish I could be that. I wish I could turn off like that. I wish I could express myself. I think the greatest shit analogy I have is it Friends, where Phoebe goes running with Rachel, right? And Phoebe's just running like she doesn't care. She's like flailing her arms over. Yeah. And Rachel's embarrassed. Yeah. And the kind of arc of the episode is that why can't you just run like that and dance like no one's watching kind of thing. And I feel like to bring it back to what we started talking about, I feel like that's, for me, has always been the greatest hurdle, is to, I remember like doing music videos, and I just remember just thinking about and trying to think about like, okay, we've got a music video tomorrow, so like I'm not really singing, I'm not really playing, so, but in my mind I felt like I could just go so, like, just, it'd be mental. But then when you're there with like 30 people in the room, you're like, are they just going to laugh at me later? Like, how, and getting over that. Yeah. No different than with the greatest live performances of all time. I feel like it's getting to that point where you lose that inhibition. Yeah. And something great comes of it. So, wherever you're at now, keep going. Yeah. Don't you do you.
That's how we should end. Right, you do you. You're almost out of shot now.
I've been slouching out
you're
of
in
shot,
for the end shot anyway. Thank you very much for talking to me.
Thanks for listening to me ramble.
Bye guys.